These are the new M50BT Studio Monitors from Samson, the newest pair of studio monitors in the Media One lineup, which orients itself towards not only content creators, music producers, or other professionals, but also gamers, audio enthusiasts, or just casual listeners. And with a price tag of just $150, they're also attempting to be the all-in-one solution for the creator on a budget. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the M50BTs. We'll go over the design, build quality, features, and most importantly, sound quality. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, before we get into the review, I do want to mention that Samson did send me these speakers for the purposes of this review, but all of the opinions expressed in this video are my own. I don't have any kind of script or guidelines that I have to read off of, so I'm free to share my honest thoughts with you guys as I see fit. So with that out of the way, let's get into the review. Getting the M50BTs set up is a pretty easy process. Simply connect the power cord, then plug in the provided 1/8 audio cable into the right active unit to connect it to the left passive unit. You can then either plug in or pair your audio source to the speakers. I was a little disappointed to see that there was no cable included to connect the speakers to your audio source. I'm guessing it's because these are Bluetooth speakers, which could potentially eliminate that need, but since not all devices are going to have Bluetooth capability, I think it would have been at least nice to include an audio cable just in case. The design of the M50BTs really doesn't stand out as being any different than other professional studio monitors in their class. With that said, that doesn't mean that they look bad. On the contrary, these are some very sleek looking speakers, featuring an all black finish on the cabinets and large gray drivers, which in combination gives them a super clean and modern vibe, which looks right at home in a studio environment. One thing that genuinely surprised me about these speakers was the actual size of the cabinets. Standing just shy of 11 inches tall and 8 inches wide, these are by far the largest pair of speakers that I've kept at my desk. I definitely wouldn't count their larger size as a negative. In fact, as we'll get into later, the size is absolutely warranted. But at the same time, I feel like I should at least mention that keeping these at your workspace will definitely be a commitment as far as space goes. That's essentially all there is to talk about in terms of the design. I actually really do like the way these speakers look. With their somewhat minimalistic design, they look right at home in just about any studio setup. Hey, real quick, I hope that you're enjoying the video up to this point. If you are, then I'd highly encourage you to please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. Not only will it help you since it'll make sure you never miss out on a new video, but it'll also help me by getting YouTube to push my videos out to more awesome people just like you. So why not do us both a favor? So anyway, enough with my shameless subscriber plug, back to the video. I'll touch on build quality for just a brief second, simply because, just like with the design, there isn't a whole lot to talk about. Again, this isn't a bad thing, it's just that studio monitors like this all tend to follow roughly the same pattern when it comes to design and build quality, so there isn't really a reason to get lost in the minutia of each individual component. I would summarize the build quality overall as solid. In typical fashion, the cabinets are constructed out of a vinyl-wrapped medium-density fiberboard, which looks and feels really nice. They seem pretty sturdy, and when you consider the fact that 99% of the time they're going to be sitting at someone's desk or in some other stationary spot, I'd say that the build quality is probably more than sufficient. The two 5-inch drivers are made out of woven carbon fiber, which I personally really like because it gives them a really cool textured look. Just to the north of the drivers are the 3/4 inch silk dome tweeters. There's not too much to be said about them, they look fine, and they fit in very well with the rest of the speaker's aesthetic. Now that we've covered design and build quality, let's now move on to some of the features that the M50BTs provide. The first and probably foremost feature is Bluetooth audio, seeing as it's literally in the name, M50BT. I've talked in the past about how I enjoy having Bluetooth functionality in my speakers, and that's still true here. I really like having the ability to quickly pair a device without having to go through the hassle of switching around cables, or in the case of a lot of modern smartphones, searching for the right adapter. Now, as far as performance goes, the Bluetooth on the M50BTs is actually really solid. Pairing is as simple as pressing a button on the back and then waiting as the power LED flashes blue. You can then pair your device, and once completed, you're all set. Both quality and latency are also really good, so much so that I was actually able to use them to edit on my laptop while on Bluetooth alone, rather than having it plugged in via cable. For me personally, this isn't something I'd find myself doing a lot just because of how my workspace is set up, but it's definitely a cool option nonetheless. Now the last feature that I'll talk about is the bass boost switch. Like the name suggests, this switch increases the level of bass put out by the speakers. Now, I've talked quite a bit in the past about how much I enjoy a lot of bass in my speakers, but when you're working with studio monitors, which tend to have a flatter sound profile, it can be difficult to find a pair of speakers that are accurate, but can also provide rich sounding bass. Now these speakers definitely check those boxes off for me, and now I can easily toggle between having a more subdued, even sound profile and having more bass. All of this leads us to what is the most important aspect of a pair of speakers, and that's the sound quality. I've been testing these speakers for over a week now, which has given me the chance to use them in a lot of different situations. All in all, I think that the sound quality is amazing. The two 3/4 inch tweeters ensure that highs are crisp and clear, while the 5-inch drivers deliver lows that are deep and rich. This combination makes the overall sound of the speakers just really nice, and working on videos, gaming, and listening to music have all been a joy with these speakers, and it really feels like each part of the sound is highlighted rather than one frequency overpowering the other. Now this is true when in the standard sound profile, but for me, these speakers really shine when the bass boost mode is enabled. Under this profile, the sound still retains that very pleasant balance of sounds, but now with extra meaty bass. Something that I've noticed on just a handful of occasions is that some of the more mid-range sounds actually have a little bit of rattle to them. It's not frequent or even all that prominent, but it has been something that I've come across before when listening to podcasts or any other kind of spoken word content. This isn't a deal breaker for me just because it's not a constant issue, but it's definitely something that's worth mentioning here. So overall, what are my final thoughts on these studio monitors? Are they really that good? And more importantly, are they worth your hard-earned money? All in all, I think that these Samson M50BTs are an amazing set of speakers, perfect for creators, gamers, and casual listeners alike, delivering great sound quality with clear highs and pronounced lows, and at $150 they become an incredible option for those looking for stellar sound performance without the hefty price tag. That's going to do it for today's review. I want to give a huge thank you to Samson for actually sending these over for me to review. They're an awesome company and they've made a lot of great audio equipment that I've personally used in the past. So please check them out at the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, then the best way to show that would be by leaving a like down below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing if you want to see more filmmaking and tech related videos just like this one. As always, if you have any feedback, suggestions, or you just want to say hi, then please don't hesitate to drop a comment down below. I always enjoy reading what you guys have to say, and I try to respond to as many comments as I can. With all that being said, you've been watching All Around Filmmaker, and I will see you in the next video.